Have you ever made your own laundry soap? If not, you need to give it a try. I'm gonna show you how easy it is to do, share with you a ratio-like recipe so that you can make the perfect amount for your storage container, and you will enjoy the long-term savings. We're gonna get into all of that, and I'm gonna do a full price comparison and breakdown of whether or not it is worth it to make your own laundry soap, or should you just keep buying it from the store. All right, let's look at the ingredients and the price breakdown, and then we'll get to mixing up this homemade laundry soap. Let's chat through the price breakdowns. Here are two powdered laundry soaps that I have. OxiClean, I will generally get the bulk version from the warehouse store, so that's gonna be a cheaper option. And there's this other Charlie's soap that's 100 loads. It doesn't look like this tiny bag would be 100 loads, but the little scooper is really little. So it's a tiny scooper, so you don't need a lot. 2/3 to 1 scoop, depending on how soiled things are. So that, the OxiClean is $12.25 for the 80-ounce box. The Charlie's is $18 for 100 loads. So pretty decent price for 100 loads. I think you could get that cheaper if you bought it in bulk. I believe they sell a bag that's 3 times this size. So that's definitely an affordable option if you don't want to make your own. As far as the homemade ingredients, here's what we have. We have washing soda, borax, Epsom salt, baking soda, and a Castile bar. For this batch, I'm gonna do this citrus scented bar. You could use the unscented bar or any of the other ones. There's a few options out there, but we're only gonna need 1 bar for this. So we're gonna use 3 cups from each of these bags and boxes, and then grate this entire Castile bar to mix up our homemade laundry soap. So prices for the washing soda, $5.29 for 3 pounds. We're certainly not gonna be using all of that. 3 cups of the washing soda, 3 cups of the borax, that's $5.99 a pound for a 4-pound box. The baking soda is $13 for this 13.5 pound, which we're not even gonna touch that. I'm just gonna keep this and use it for other cleaning and whatnot. I'll just keep this sealed up in the garage to keep different things fresh. I use baking soda in the fridges and the freezers. This will definitely get used around here. Okay, that was a little rabbit trail. Back to that price I said I think was $13 for 13 pounds, so about $1 a pound. And then the Epsom salt is $3.50 for 4 pounds, and the Castile bar is $5. So I know I'm gonna use all of this. So $5, we're gonna prorate all of these down to $1, $1.50. I mean, either way, this homemade blend is going to be well under the $12.25 and the $18 for these 2 other store-bought versions. And so we're gonna, okay, I always spoil it. We're gonna get to making this now. Let's move over and get this mixed up into a container, and then I will share with you how I store it and how much I use. So this is way easier than you think, and really doesn't take a lot of thought. I think once you make this once or maybe twice, you've got it figured out. It's 3 cups of these 4 items and 1 bar of grated Castile soap. My good friend Elisa describes this as like easier than having to remember to put laundry soap in your grocery list or in your cart if you're ordering online, because this is so easy to do, and these are such big boxes and bags that you've kind of always got it when you need to make a new batch. You don't have to think about it because it's 3 cups, 3 cups, 3 cups, 3 cups, 1 bar, and you're good. So get these in bulk to save a little bit too. I think these come in multiple packs, especially if you're ordering online. So super easy. So we're gonna start with measuring. We're gonna do, I'm gonna switch hands, I'm not left-handed. 3 cups of Epsom salt. And I think I'm gonna actually just go ahead and take this bag up to my bathroom and use this for some post-workout soaks, because there's probably not enough left to do another batch of this, which isn't gonna be for a while anyways. So I might as well use that up in the bathroom. Okay, next up, let's do the baking soda since this is already nice and set up for me. So we're gonna do 3 cups. And again, and maybe while I have this out, I might go ahead and just swap out my little things in the fridge. That was 3, right? I think that was 3. I mean, it was 3 because it's completely covering. Okay. And then I'm gonna seal this up nice and tight. I don't think I have room in my laundry room cabinets for that, which is why I'm gonna keep it in the garage, which is why I'm sealing it nice and tight. These 2 boxes I will keep inside to keep the humidity from getting to them because it's Texas and it's hot and humid in my garage even. I'm gonna pull this tab all the way out. It's not flowing very well. There we go. 1, 2, and 3. Some little chunks are trying to get in the way. Oh, there we go. That was an overflow. I'm gonna try and get some of this back in there. You never know. This is what happens when I do stuff live. Last but not least is gonna be the washing soda. I'm gonna pull that tab off too. And then we're gonna do 3 cups. 1, 2, 3. Definitely have enough to make a second and possibly third batch with both of these boxes, and for sure the baking soda, that giant bag. Okay, I am gonna just use my spinella because I can throw this in the wash to get it clean for the next time I'm gonna use it with food. That's what I'm using to get this all incorporated. I'm just gonna fold it and stir it over a couple times, super gently. And then I'm gonna bust up any little, these are the borax chunks, I think. The washing soda and the baking soda were pretty smooth, but let's bust up some of these borax chunks. You can make sure you get all the way. That's why I love this spinella. It just does such a good job of scraping and getting everything off because it's got that kind of spoon shape. Okay, now that that is finished, we're going to grate this bar of soap. Let's unwrap it. And I'm finished with that guy. So I'm just gonna grate it in here. I'm gonna create a little pool for it. I'm gonna use this bowl is barely big enough for my grater, but I'm gonna use it just for stability purposes. And then I'm just going to grate like this was a block of cheese. And then once we're done with that, we'll fold it all in together again and it'll be ready to transfer to the storage container. And then we'll go over how to use it and whatnot. It smells so good. I like this citrus because I live in a house full of boys and this is just a refreshing scent. You know, boys, cedar, sandalwood, cedar, like there isn't a scent for that, but there's like lavender. I don't want my boys' clothes to smell like lavender. So I like this citrus just because it's a fresh smell. If you wanted to do unscented with the bar of soap, you could then add essential oils in when you're drying your clothes, if you're using like a wool dryer ball, or you could even add a drop of essential oil onto a dryer sheet. So there are ways to give it another scent if you want, if you don't want to use the scented Castile soap bars. All right, I'm gonna finish this. Okay, I'm down to the tiniest little bit here. I got my arm workout in. I'm just doing it very gently. I don't, obviously be careful, don't cut your fingers, but you should be able, look, I got it down to this tiny piece. So I should be able to just break that up. There we go. Okay, here's the close-up of the Castile bar all grated, and the last thing we need to do is just kind of fold this in together. I was actually chatting with some friends at lunch the other day about homemade laundry soap, and my friend Elise is like, it's just the easiest, I don't even think about it. And you save so much money, especially over the long term. And I am all about it for the money saving piece. I hadn't really thought about it for the, like, it's just easier piece. But once you kind of get this ratio figured out, it really is just so easy to do. Okay, let me get this mixed in, and then I'm gonna reset and get the storage container out and show you how I'm gonna transfer this and how we will use it in the laundry. Okay, this is the storage container that I'm using. It's airtight, and I'm actually going to do it scoop for scoop. And the reason for that is if one, I don't have a funnel, and two, if I pour it in this way, which I could do because this is a pretty, the rim of the bowl would fit in here, it will create a powder volcano. And I don't want to do that, slash ask me how I know. So I'm gonna just do this until I get towards the bottom, and then I'll be able to have less of a powder tornado and pouring the bottom out. Okay, I'm finished with that guy. He was really great at helping us mix all this up. You can probably see a little bit of the powder volcano happening. So that's, I don't want to taste we're not trying to eat this, right? I don't want to taste this. So it just takes a minute to get this transferred in, and then I just keep this on my, dryer to use when I am washing. Okay, we're almost finished. You might be able to do it now. There we go. No powdery volcano here. A little bit of one, not too bad. I'm standing back. So here we have, I'm gonna leave that in there because I'm gonna use that scooper. So here we have a load of this 3 cups, 3 cups, 3 cups, 3 cups, 3 cups, 1 Castile bar soap. I'm not doubling it because it will not fit in this particular container. You could potentially use half of a Castile bar and do like 4.5 cups of each, and 1.5 Castile bars in this. This just happens to be the container that I use. All that to say, you can easily adjust this sort of ratio-like recipe, 3 cups, 3 cups, 3 cups, 3 cups, 3 cups, plus a bar, to fit your storage container, is what I'm getting at there. So that is that. How much do I use for each load? All you need is a 1/4 cup. I got this guy out as like a comparison. This is an old scooper that I've used for a long time. So it's about 1/2 scoop is what I'll use for like a regular load of laundry. If something's super dirty, super soiled, I would definitely use a touch more, but I use about 1/2 scoop for each load. So this is going to last me a while. Also note with this homemade laundry soap, if you do need to add vinegar to your load, like you have hard water, you can add that into the fabric softener tray to go in with the washing with the homemade laundry powder. Final comparison, I'm gonna grab this one too, just to show you some like size comparisons. So there's definitely about double the amount of powder that's in this bag. This would probably equal about the same number of washes because this is 100. This won't be 100, but it's double the amount of powder. There's only about this much in the bag. This will last. This is probably about half. The way, I don't know. This is. I'm not good with geometry and spatial things. Are you? Maybe this is 1/3 more. Is that right? Does that make sense? Anyways, you get the idea. There's more here for less dollars. So that answers the, is it really worth it? Yes, it's really worth it. It's worth it on convenience factor because it's really easy to remember this 3 cup, 3 cup, 3 cup, 3 cup, 1 bar of soap ratio. You can adjust that to your storage container. It's also, doesn't take too long to do. The longest part of this is actually grating that bar of soap, which is a great job to give to a teenager or a husband. And it's really easy to mix it up. And of course, it's really easy to store and keep on hand just like you would these guys. So load for load, ounce for ounce, definitely homemade is the way to go. It just takes a couple minutes to do, and after you do it once or twice, you really won't even have to think about it. You just do it, move on with your day, and enjoy the savings from making homemade laundry powder soap. Homemade powdered laundry soap for the win on price, on convenience, on efficiency, and on long-term savings. I need you to think about this long-term savings. Anything like this that you can do long-term is going to save you money. Buying meat when it's on sale and only when it's on sale, and stocking up your freezer with freezer meals and meat that you got on sale. Making homemade laundry soap, not buying paper towels. I use reusable towels, and I do have paper napkins, but I only buy like a giant pack like once a year so they last a long time. But that saved, paper towels, I've saved thousands of dollars by not buying those over the years. Hundreds of dollars by making homemade laundry soap. So long term, I need you to think long term. So that is why it's really worth it to make your own powdered laundry soap. If you think this ratio is super easy and you're gonna give it a try in your laundry room, hit that like button, give me a thumbs up, and then let me know how it goes and what scent you chose for your Castile bar soap. Also hit subscribe and the bell so that you can get notified when we release new videos, which is happening all the time these days. You don't want to miss any more of our budget cooking, is it really worth it series, freezer cooking, meal prep, all the things that we have here going on the channel. You don't want to miss any of those, so hit that subscribe button. All right, my friends, it's bye for now, and I will see you in the next video.